Yay, Carolyn, I see you. This is awesome, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get started for our team call tonight, or our nutrition webinar. So we've got our team on here. We've invited our challengers, so we might have some people who are going to pop in throughout, but we are recording, so this is going to be an amazing resource for us to go back to listen to again, to take notes, and to share with others, because, you know, whether or not you're a coach or a challenger on your journey, I think we can all agree that nutrition is one of the hardest, if not hardest, struggles for each and every one of us. And coincidentally, it's also the biggest piece of the puzzle. And, I have been a coach for 4 years. And when I signed on as a coach, Kimberly was in the forefront, and she was just somebody that I always looked up to and was certainly so inspired by. She has such an incredible way of sharing her story, the good, the bad, the everything in between, and it's exactly that. It's a journey, and she shares it so gracefully and always focuses on her mission. And so she's been coaching for 5 years, or almost 5 years?
It was 4 years in February.
Okay, so 4 years in February. And I am going to actually, because I'm going to make sure that everybody's muted, because I kind of are a little right. And so I'm just going to really pass it over to her, because, like I said, she shares her story so powerfully, and so and in a way that I feel like we can all connect with. And she's seen such great transformations using the many nutrition tools that we have. And so I'm excited for her to kind of share that with you, because that is her wheelhouse. That's something that she is so passionate about. And I know that I'm going to learn so much from her, and I'm confident you will as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and mute myself. Tell us, feel free to give yourself a little bit more of an introduction and tell us how you want us to handle questions, if you want us to, post them throughout, or if you'd rather field them at the end. It's totally up to you. This is your show.
Hey guys, thanks Krista for asking me to be on your call tonight. First of all, just let me know if you can hear me, because I know in this specific room of my house, sometimes, okay, Chris is giving me a thumbs up. If I get spotty, just let me know and I'll move into my bedroom. I've been a coach on Rock Solid for a little over 4.5 years now, and I have had a couple of weight loss transformations in the process of being a coach, because life happens, right? I went through some stuff in my marriage. I struggled through alcohol addiction, and that's still something that I deal with every day. Addiction is forever. So 276 days sober today, which I am so excited to celebrate with you guys. Thank you. And that makes a big difference in your weight loss too. So if you're drinking a lot of wine, removing that makes a big difference. But it started like so many of us start with the container system. 21 Day Fix was my first program. I loved Portion Fix before Ultimate Portion Fix was ever introduced. And I lost 15 pounds my first month. Then I think I lost 8 pounds my second month, and it just kept coming off. But then I got to the point where I was like, I know this. I don't need these little color-coded boxes anymore. I'm so like that personality type, like nobody puts baby in the corner, like nobody puts Kimberly in a rainbow box, like leave me alone. I know my stuff now. And so I went on with my bad self for about a year, knowing my stuff, gaining like 15 pounds back, and getting really frustrated, telling my coach, like, this program doesn't work. This nutrition plan doesn't work. And she's like, are you following your nutrition plan? Are you using our system? And I'm like, well, I mean, like, I think I kind of know what I'm doing. So my first piece of advice before I even dive into Portion Fix and to be mindset is just to remind you that, because whether you're a coach or a challenger, but especially as a coach, just because you have the title of coach does not mean you always know your stuff, and does not mean that you don't need to kick yourself in the pants every once in a while. You are not expected to eat out of rainbow colored Tupperware for the rest of your life. But when you realize that you need to rein it back in and things have gotten maybe a little too loose, you've put a couple extra pounds on. Our very fit friend Krista might have pulled out a couple too many bags of Doritos in the past month. You know, you've got to pull your containers back out, dig them out of underneath the bath toys, get them out of the dirt pile in the back where your kid plays with bulldozers, wherever they ended up, and pull them out and wash them and get yourself accountable again. That is my biggest piece of advice. If you're using To Be Mindset, what you need to do is you need to pull out your plate and use your eyeballs and divide it into 4 sections and get yourself back into the swing of things, because you might know all the things. Let's be honest. Before you signed up as a challenger, before you signed up as a coach, you know what is healthy to put in your body. You know what's not healthy to put in your body. You know binge watching Netflix for 9 hours on a weekend is not healthy. You know that exercising 20 to 30 minutes a day is healthy. We all know these things. It's programmed in us. But whether or not we do them and use the program and follow the plan is a completely different story. So we can say, yeah, we know what to do, but like action breeds action. Action breeds results, right? So I, last year when To Be Mindset came out, I had gained almost 40 pounds back from my original weight loss. And if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, I was very, very, very quiet about it during the process of gaining the weight back. I was very depressed. I was separated from my husband at the time, and a lot of people don't even know that. But I was drowning myself in wine and Halo Top ice cream. And hey, Halo Top ice cream is totally healthy, right? So eating a pint of it every single night is fine. It's not healthy. It's not fine. It's a better choice. But it's not healthy. It's not fine. And I was slowly but surely gaining this weight back. And one of our upline team coaches from, hey, did you guys see that? I just want to point that out. Did you see it? Can you see it? I see it. Carolyn sees it. I got a muscle there. All right, cool. I just want to make sure y'all saw that. That's from nutrition, by the way. All right, so one of our upline coaches who was in the To Be Mindset test group, and now that it's all said and done, I can tell you that this happened, gave me access to the program before we were allowed to purchase it, because she saw my struggle and she knew my story and where I had gotten myself at one point and where I was going again. And so I was able to get my hands on To Be Mindset at the end of February when it came out for the rest of us at the beginning of May. And I didn't really dive into it, but I started studying it and I became obsessed with the emotional part of that program, really unlearning your addiction to food via emotions. And that's what I was really struggling with at the time, was feeding my sadness and feeding my emptiness. And in that time where I started to learn how to cope with emotional eating and realize those triggers and watch if you guys have To Be Mindset or you have Ultimate Portion Fix and you have not watched the freaking videos, you don't know the program and you're not doing it. You're faking it until you make it. You have got to watch those learning videos. Like, they are gold. So I watched the To Be Mindset videos like 6 times through, all 40 something of them. I got certified. Like, I opened the test up one night and I didn't even study for it, and I knew every answer. Like, I finished that thing in 20 minutes and got certified because I was so obsessed with the information that I was learning about emotional eating and visual intuitive eating. So I started officially really following that at the very end of April of 2018, and I lost 24 pounds in 6 weeks, you guys. And I was not following a fitness program at the time because I didn't have the wherewithal to like even make time for that in my life. I was so stressed out with trying to like move and find a house and put my marriage back together. And in this time where I was super connected to my nutrition and really learning about that emotional eating and that connection. Emotions are everything, right, you guys? Like, we feed our sadness, we feed our emptiness, we feed our boredom, we feed our excitement, we celebrate with food, we hang out with our girlfriends and eat food. Like, everything freaking revolves around food. Social gatherings revolve around food. Being alone revolves around food. Sitting on the couch in front of the TV revolves around food. So I would just started to really realize those moments where I felt like I should eat. Like, I should get to eat right now. I deserve to eat something. I deserve to have ice cream. I worked out really hard. I deserve to have a glass of wine because it was a really hard day. My kids are driving me insane. I should have a glass of wine, which, by the way, I will be totally honest with you. I do not think that you should drink wine because your kids drive you insane. That mommy wine culture is not my favorite. If you want to sit back and put your feet up and enjoy a glass of wine because you enjoy a glass of wine, that's great. But if you are trying to escape your reality with alcohol, please talk to somebody. I'm happy to listen. But I started to be able to say to myself, I need to pray. I need to pray right now. I don't need to eat right now. I need to pray, because this is about a feeling, not about hunger. This is about an emotion, not about fuel. This is about me being sad or happy or excited or nervous or bored or anxious, not about needing more energy. You know what I mean? And I was able to kind of take that time. It's the 5-second rule, just like we tell our kids, you guys, like, oh, it was only your M&M was on the ground for 5 seconds, pick it up, you know? For us, for eating, it's the 5-second rule. I want you guys to, no matter what eating plan you are following, if you're about to make a decision off plan, like it's not on your menu, it's not in your containers, it doesn't fit in your plate it method, whatever, I want you to give yourself 5 seconds and say, 1 minute after I put this in my mouth, how does it serve me? And if your answer has nothing to do with fuel or energy, don't eat it. It's not worth it. For me, I know Fridays I eat ice cream. I eat ice cream every single Friday of my life. So when I'm going to the ice cream store and I eat ice cream on Friday, it's a plan. It's a part of the plan. But if I'm driving home from horseback riding and I'm passing that ice cream place and it's been a really, really, really hard day, and I have stopped in the parking lot several times to go get ice cream, and I'm like, how is this going to serve me 1 minute from now? 1 minute after I put that ice cream in my mouth, you better bet I'm going to feel guilty. I'm going to feel ashamed. I'm going to be angry that I sabotaged myself. It's going to taste good and then it's going to be gone. Like, the taste is gone in a minute, you know? So was it worth it? Was that flavor worth it? Was that indulgence worth it? Because the feelings that you're going to have for passing the ice cream store, or not buying the Doritos, or not eating the entire bag of popcorn while you're watching the movie with your kids, is going to be pride and excitement and empowerment and self-control. And that feels so much better than guilt. So much better than guilt. And 24 pounds in 6 weeks because I had self-control and I decided to pray instead of eat, not only got 24 pounds off of my body, and I had enough energy and enough momentum to finally start working out again because I felt good about myself and I felt committed and like I was in control and could handle something again in my life. But it also brought me so much closer to God. Like, I was able to say, like, I don't need this. I need you. So if you're in a faith walk of any type, like, imagine how breaking up with filling the emptiness with food would feel if you start to fill that with prayer and the word and plugging into this community and building relationships with people instead of building solitude with your refrigerator. Okay? So that's my whole To Be mindset thing. It's so emotional. And I loved that. I followed To Be mindset like solid throughout the summer. I felt amazing. And then for those of you who follow To Be mindset, can I see a show of hands of people that have done To Be mindset, who loved it, who don't love it anymore, but who have done To Be mindset? Okay. I got real excited about accessories eventually. Like, there was a lot of cheese on my broccoli, and there was like a lot of whipped cream in my Shakeology sometimes. Whipped cream is not on the accessory list, just FYI. But it got on my accessory list. And avocado, like avocado toast went from a quarter of an avocado on my toast to a half of an avocado on my toast to a half of an avocado on my toast, and the other half of my avocado chopped up on top of my eggs. I just started giving myself a little bit too much freedom. And slowly but surely, those pounds started creeping back on because I lost my self-control. So enter the Ultimate Portion Fix. And I wish that my business partner, my success partner, was on this call right now to tell you exactly how this went down. But I was laid up in bed with the flu for 9 days with both of my children when the Ultimate Portion Fix was launching. And she's like, "Did you buy it?" And I was like, "No, I already have those stupid containers. I'm not buying the Ultimate Portion Fix. It's like $96. And she was like, "You're a coach. You need to buy the program so that you at least know the program so you can coach people on the program." And I was like, no, thank you. I can coach them on Portion Fix. I understand this situation. She's like, "But you don't understand the situation, and your head is so far up your bum. Like, you've got to open your mind and realize that 75% of people don't think like you do. 25% of people have enough self-control to learn a program and eat intuitively and visually with a pie chart on their plate. And 75% of people need a lot more structure when it comes to their eating." So after we had this come to Jesus meeting, I begrudgingly ordered stupid program like this through gritted teeth, through my phone. I was like, fine, I did it. Started watching the video because I had nothing else to do except for lay in bed and complain about feeling awful. She also told me during that time, which I'm not calling anybody out because I don't follow all of you guys on social media, but if you're ever sick for 9 days in bed, nobody wants to read about that for 9 days. Nobody. And my business partner was honest enough with me to tell me to go through my social media and make sure that I had no more than 4 posts over the course of 9 days that talked about us having the flu. She was like, "It's depressing. Nobody wants to come to your Facebook right now." And I was like, oh, alrighty then. And it's true. Like, yes, you're allowed to be sick and life is allowed to happen to you, but like, if you bring in everybody down, ain't nobody gonna come back. So don't do that. Learn from my mistakes. All right. So I just, went ahead and got certified in this too, because like I said, what else did I have to do with my life other than not post about being sick on social media? I needed something else to post about. So I was posting about learning this new nutrition program. And then I was like, fine, I'll do it for 4 weeks. I'll just do it for 4 weeks and I'll see what happens and I'll talk about it and I'll learn it and I'll be able to talk to my challengers and my potential clients about it. And I'll go all in. I'll commit to it. So I committed to this stupid Portion Fix Ultimate Situation Rainbow, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 4 weeks, you guys, 16 pounds. 4 weeks. This was in conjunction with Transform 20. And I was like, okay, all right, Autumn, you amped up this situation. Okay, I get you. Fine. I'm going to do it for 4 more weeks. And 4 more weeks. And 4 more weeks. And it just so happens that your girl Kimberly here, who is all rainbows, butterflies, glitter, party, intuitive, visual, blah, 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 actually needs a spreadsheet for her eating. Like, I can just fly by the seat of my pants with pretty much everything except for nutrition. I actually need the containers. They're my BFFs. I love a meal plan. I love color coding my food. Do not give me a spreadsheet for literally anything else. Ask Krista. If you guys are in our diamond, our Rise Up and whatever it's called, Rise and Shine to Diamond group, I tried to make a spreadsheet and it was so confusing. Everybody was like, how do I do this? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I tried really hard. So I don't like to be put in a box. I don't like to be told what to do. And that was my beef with the Ultimate Portion Fix. That you guys, since November, the end of November, I have lost over 40 pounds, 46 pounds now since the end of November, because I got my head out of my butt and I decided to try the thing that I said I was too good for and that I knew already. And it was like, I didn't need that. And I found out in the process, not only do I still struggle with emotional eating, but I really do need somebody to tell me what to do with my food, and that's totally okay. It's totally okay. And it's okay to say, I once had this and I once knew it and it was under control, but I don't got it anymore. I don't know it anymore. I don't understand what happened, but I need somebody to explain this to me in a new way and measure my food and all that stuff. It's okay to say, I tried this and I failed. It's okay to love to be mindset and have had great success with that, but let yourself a little too far off the rein and decide you need to structure again. And that was me. I will probably always come back to the container system. And right now, I'm honestly not measuring everything because I feel like I've got a good handle on it again and I'm still having weight loss success. But you better bet when those pounds start creeping up again, or I start seeing like more avocado or more coconut oil than should be, or my teaspoon of almond butter that goes in my Shakeology starts to be a heaping tablespoon of almond butter that goes in my Shakeology. Raise your hand if you actually use a teaspoon for the nut butter that goes in your Shakeology, right? Jamie, I knew Jamie would raise her hand. If you guys don't follow Sue Reski on our, oh look, Lindsay's raising her hand too. Sue Reski on our team, she will tell you every single day that her big heaping tablespoon is equal to a teaspoon when it comes to Shakeology, which is great. But if my pounds start creeping up, then I got to get my teaspoon back out again, you guys. And you've got to hold yourself accountable to that. You have got to be able to tell yourself like, whoa, I got to rein it back in. And the most important thing, especially if you're a coach, is if you're not following one of our nutrition programs, or you have not followed and learned one of our nutrition programs that has now become your lifestyle, you are not able to coach anybody in our nutrition program. If you are willy-nilly, la with your nutrition and you're not getting results, we can't really help you. And that goes for challengers too. Like, we are not certified nutritionists. We are not registered dietitians. Some of us might be. I'm not. I'm certified master coach in Ultimate Portion Fix. I'm certified To Be Mindset mentor. But I can't psychoanalyze you guys, and we can't get past the tools that we have. So if you don't know the tools that we have inside and out and how they work, and you're not using them for yourself, how do you ever expect to help anybody else get success? And if you 2 years from now still have the same 43 pounds to lose that you have today, do you expect anybody to jump on that train? Because you can't stop eating a box of macaroni and cheese. My business, when I gained that weight back, my business stopped, you guys. It stopped. Screeching halt. Because people were like, whoa, like the train that we were watching just wrecked, and I do not want to get on it. I don't know where it's going, and that's not a driver I want to sit behind. So take ownership of your fitness and take ownership of your nutrition, because if you're not constantly getting some sort of result in this business, then you're not going to be able to help anybody else, because nobody's going to take you seriously. And if you're a challenger and you're not utilizing either the To Be Mindset or the Ultimate Portion Fix, we as coaches, those are the programs that we have that we're able to coach you through and help you with. So if you say, like, I don't need that, and you're still struggling with your nutrition, short of like giving you our own meal plan that's working for us and our family, we can't help you past those issues that you're having with food unless you commit to the tools that we have and that we are educated in and can help you work through. I hope that makes sense. Yes, oh my gosh, yes. And you guys, as soon as I leaned back in and people started seeing the momentum again and like seeing the weight start to come off and my consistency with my nutrition, I talk about food like every single day of my life. It's my favorite subject other than God and my family. It's like God, family, food. That sounds really pompous, but it's probably true. I really like food a lot. My business started growing again, and it's because people trusted me again. that I wasn't going to sell them something and walk away. I was going to sell them something and take their hand and do it next to them. You know what I mean? I wasn't just blowing smoke. So I guess that's pretty much what I have, right? Like if you guys have any specific questions, or if Krista, you had anything else you wanted me to specifically talk about, I would love to field any questions you guys have about either program specifically or just nutrition in general, as far as my knowledge goes.
I love how you talked about, kind of like your two different seasons, and how, that it's okay to admit that you don't necessarily have it all together. And right now you're not necessarily measuring your containers, but that you'll go back to it if you feel like you need to. Cause I kind of feel like that's where I've been, where like that first year of my journey, I was like on those containers and on point. And when I had a treat, I knew it was because I had a treat, and because it fit into my plan. I planned for it. But it's really easy to get super comfortable. It's really easy to get super comfortable and complacent and then think it doesn't work. And even like what you said about like the Shakeology, like the teaspoon, right? Like it's those things that add up and you don't even realize it.
You guys, raise your hand if you're a mom in here. Okay, that's like the majority, okay? The average mom eats 600 to 700 extra calories a day in mom bites. A handful of goldfish, a couple bites of macaroni and cheese at the bottom of the pot, the crust of the bread. Like you think about those little things that you nibble on throughout the day, and you're standing up eating at the counter while your kids are around you, and you're nibbling on dinner while you're cooking it, and then you sit down and actually eat dinner. 600 to 700 calories is half of what I should eat in a day. So if I'm eating my regular regimen plus half of that on top of it, number one, I'm not losing weight. Number two, I'm probably gaining it. And it's never the good stuff that I'm eating extra calories in. If I was eating 4 cups of spinach, 4 cups, I get 4 cups of spinach, you guys, for 28 calories. Whoa. Like, talk about filling your stomach up, right? So think about that next time. Like, I am so hyper aware now at the bottom of the macaroni and cheese when there's like 1 bite left. I'm not like freaking myself out like, oh my gosh, that's probably 33 calories in a bite. I'm not thinking that, but I'm thinking, is this going to serve me, or I'm going to feel guilty about it? Do I need this? No. Go put some Dawn dishwashing liquid in it and run the water. Ain't nobody need that last bite of macaroni and cheese. Yes, leftover chicken, whatever it is. Like, my kids leave crap on their plate all the time, and I'm always like, oh, this crust of bread looks amazing, whatever it is. So 600 to 700 calories is not a small jump. That's not, a 100 calorie snack bag or whatever. But don't eat those either, because they're super processed. If you need a good snack, get a beach bar. They're amazing. I'm not trying to advertise to you, but they are really, really good. And they're super yummy, delicious dips in your coffee in the morning if you want biscotti. Did anybody else have any specific questions they wanted me to answer, or anything they wanted me to go in more detail on that might help you on your journey or help you help your challengers?
How do you help somebody decide which program's right for them?
I will ask people from the get-go about their personality type. It's actually in my Google form. I give them a couple different examples, like which one resonates more with you. And it actually breaks down the sapphire, emerald, ruby, and pearl personality types. So not only do I know how to communicate with them and love on them, but I can also kind of see what they're uncomfortable with and what they're more comfortable with. And I can kind of gauge from that. If they're more emerald, pearl, I can field nutrition questions about portion and organization and needing more structure, or vice versa with rubies and sapphires. I feel like they're going to lean more toward the food freedom and the to be mindset, and having that visual, more intuitive, make their own decisions thing. But I can start with those questions saying like, how do you do with your portions? And how do you feel like you eat emotionally, or do you feel like you have a pretty good handle on that? Do you find that you're eating too much during the day, or do you find that you struggle with eating enough? Like, for instance, my mom, she's overweight and she needs to lose weight, and she struggles eating more than one time a day. She doesn't eat anything but dinner. So I can kind of ask those questions. And if they're struggling with eating enough throughout the day, I feel like To Be Mindset is a really good way for them to not get overwhelmed, because the container system feels like a lot of food. And it is a lot of food. It's a lot of really good food. But To Be Mindset is like 3 times a day, optional snack. It's not like eat 4 and 5 times a day. But if they're struggling with eating too much, or knowing when to stop, or not understanding that feeling of fullness or satiety, I feel like the container system is more up their alley. And I'll ask the questions, I'll get a feel, and then I'll introduce them to what I think is the best idea for them. And if it doesn't resonate with them, I'll show them the other option. I also have sample meal plans too, Krista, that I can share with you, so you can share with your team. I have a sample meal plan that I send out to my Ultimate Portion Fix challengers in their welcome email, and then I have a sample like a 3-day To Be Mindset meal plan. And so I'll send people who are on the fence those meal plans and see which one feels like more natural or more doable for them.
Awesome, thank you. Any other questions, comments? All right, well, no team call ends without a boomerang. So if you don't have your pretty face showing, you may want to turn your camera on just for this one moment. We always do some good jazz hands. Ooh. Anybody? Or whatever you want. Let's just dance it up for nutrition. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, one more time. I kind of cut something off, sorry. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Kimberly, thank you so much for taking time out of your night. I truly appreciate it. It was so helpful, and I will get the recording to you as well so that you have that for your crew.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Kimberly.